So changing guitar strings is no one's favorite thing to do, but alas, we all have to do it. I've been changing guitar strings probably since 1999 and classical guitar nylon strings since 2003. This is my nylon string guitar. It's a Yamaha C40 and it does the job very nicely. I play it for classical guitar as well as most of my therapy sessions. I changed my strings a variety of periods between. Most recently, it was about 3 months. I actually frayed a string and it popped off in the middle of a group, so that was string changing time. I've also been playing it a lot more, but it's really about your preference and what the sound quality is, and are they worn, are they staying in tune, are they going out of tune. One of the other downsides of changing your nylon string guitar is that the strings go out of tune very quickly for a little while after you change them, so I'm going to give you a couple of tips of hopefully how to reduce that time length. Your best friend for changing strings, whether nylon, steel, or anything, is this little guy. I believe it's just called a string winder because it helps you unwind the strings. So, to start us off, I like to put my guitar on the ground, and depending on if I'm changing these or I'm changing these, I'll face it this way or I'll face it this way so that I can wind it easier. So I decided to go ahead and do this one today, and I'll unwind it for us here. My string winder is a little bit new. It's not quite oiled up or loose. Not that I ever oil my string winders, but this guy might need some, and it takes a little while. Nylon strings are nice because sometimes you can get them done a little bit and then just pull the whole thing out, but I want to show you something at the end before I pull it all the way out. Okay, I've unwound my string all the way. Before I take it out, I wanted to show you up here at the top how I started it. It's going through the hole twice here, and that helps keep it a little bit secure when you're wrapping it back up again. Now, you don't have to do this, but it makes me feel better, so I do it sometimes. You can take it out here. So what we'll do is we'll start over with this string. So once I take it out and I can pull it out of the bridge, then we can grab our new string. So we've got our new string. I'm going to put it through the notch there and bring it around. And like I said, especially for the higher pitched strings, I like to stick it through one more time to help keep it secure and tight. But you don't have to. You just have to be more careful when you're pulling it tight while you're winding it up. So I've got it there, and then I'll probably get it started with my hand and then pull the string winder on it to make it faster later. But once we've got it in here, we've got to head down to the bottom. Right here by the bridge is the hard part about changing the nylon strings. And you can see it's twisted, so you send it through the bridge here and wrap it around twice. And the key is making that second wrap fall over the edge so that when you pull it tight, it can't come undone. Now you can see my strings, some are going one way, some are going another way. I have a sanguine personality, and that doesn't really bother me too much. But I know some people might not like that, and you can easily make them all go the same direction with a little extra care. And you can actually even tuck them under each other as you go so they're lying completely flat. Okay, so what you're going to do is take your string and feed it through the bridge. And you're going to wrap it around itself. So if I bring it around the string towards you, that's the way the string is going to end up sticking out across at the end of the bridge. It's going to go that way. If I come from you towards me to wrap it around, it's going to end up sticking out this way when we're done. So I'm going to go ahead and bring it from me towards you around the string, and then I'm going to bring it over the string and under the string for my first twist. You're going to twist it around the string twice. So twist it once around the string, bring it up and twist it back around again. This creates 2 knots, and what you want to do is as you're pulling it tight, make sure the second knot falls onto this side of the bridge. That's what keeps it from slipping. So you've twisted it and it's twisted over the edge. And then when you pull it tight, they should all line up. Once we've got it wrapped in there nice and tight down at the bottom, if you haven't already, you're going to want to put it in up at the head of the guitar. We already did that, and it doesn't really matter if you do the top or the bottom first. But once you get them both in there, what I like to do is pull it tight so it makes somewhat of a triangle. And what you can do is create some gentle tension on it. So what that's doing is preventing it from slipping at the knots down here, and then also from slipping up at the top here. So I just create some gentle tension. And then I'll start winding it, and you can do it with your hand, or you can do it with your handy dandy string winder, whatever you feel comfortable with, until you get it nice and tight. And depending on how neat of a person you are, is kind of decide, whether do you need your rows to be straight in a line, do you want to make extra care that that happens, or are you okay with them kind of lapping over each other? It doesn't matter a whole lot as long as it's tight and it's not slipping while you're playing. Once we get it all in place, we're going to stretch it. So to stretch your string, you're going to pull that triangle like we made before. And you're going to pull it right down here by the bridge. So you're pulling those knots nice into place. And you're going to pull it right up here by the string. So you're pulling it nice into place. So it should loosen up quite a bit while you're doing that. And I do it a couple of times, again pulling up down by my bridge, and then again up by where the string inserts. And I'll tighten it up, and I might even tighten it a little over the note that it's supposed to be. And then I'll leave them a little bit tighter than they should be overnight. Stretch them out real good, tune them several times, and then stretch them out real good. So if you stretch them, it reduces the amount of time that is required for them to go in and out of tune once they're new, because they're so stretchy. And that's it, and then you're good to go. I'm in a classical guitar ensemble right now, and we talk about strings and our fingernails and how to file them and all of that good stuff. So everyone has their opinions. But I wanted to show you what strings I've used most recently. I've been starting to keep the boxes and keep track of what I liked about them or what I didn't like about them. Most often I use D'Addario, both for classical and for my steel string guitars. And you can get them in different gauges. You can see this one is normal tension, and this one was about $9.50. I think you might be able to get them cheaper. This is another one that a lot of the folks in my classical guitar ensemble use, Severes, and you can see it's a little bit more expensive here. I didn't like these as much. To me, these sounded very, very bright in a tinny kind of way, but these are also high tension, which you can see there. So perhaps maybe a lighter tension would not have sounded as tinny to me. But a lot of the really good folks that I play with like these a lot. And these I tend to like more. Maybe it's because I've just used them longer and like the sound and more comfortable with this sound.